It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Thursday, January 24th, 2019. It is 7 a.m.
It is chilly this morning.
It's cold.
I have frost on my windshield.
It's
I had
cold.
a scrape off this morning, and
It's
I hate
cold.
those mornings.
At 1:40 this morning, my little dog Pepper is scratching at the door, needing to go outside.
At 1?
40. It was cold. Pepper, are you sure it's like 1:30 in the morning? So anyway, we went outside for you know what at 1:30 this morning. So it's cold.
I had to move I got a old flatbed Dodge, one of our farm trucks over there, and I was going to move it because it was parked in one of the trailers my dad's picking up. I couldn't get the doors to open.
Oh, really? Doors are frozen?
Yeah, they were froze shut, and
Wow.
I figured I'll let my dad move it.
Oh, wow.
It'll
Anyway,
be thawed out by then.
good morning, everybody, on this cold, frosty morning. Hope your Thursday's off to a great start, and it's going to be cold today and tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's going to be even more cold.
Supposed to, I think, warm up a little bit today, though, in the 40s, isn't it?
We'll take a look here in a minute. Yeah. We
Originally,
have a
but-
really good sponsor for the weather, so we'll go into great detail. How's that?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Let's butter him up a little bit. Hey, we're enjoying Brood Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same thing. 3 locations in Mountain Home to serve you. We got Balmer Boulevard, which is the road that leads into our high school, which is going to be very busy at 7:02 in the morning. And then we have 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness, and of course Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. Check out any of the 3 locations of. There you go. Boy, I look better now, don't I?
I had to do it.
Check out any of the 3 locations of Brood Awakening Coffee right here at Mountain Home, the best coffee in town. Check out all their blends and different coffees, mochas, lattes, espressos, whatever you like. I mean, they've got it all different kinds of flavors for your.
Or you can come by here and get the maximum
Come
strength
by and get the
version.
real stuff. This will put hair on the back of the spoon you stir it with. You know, this is good coffee.
Don't worry, anything that's left over goes to good use. The city uses it to fill the potholes.
There you go. Brood Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. I'll tell you what. Thanks to Mike and his staff for sponsoring the show. Been with us for many years, so check them out. Brood Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. And, of course, the morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes right here in Mountain Home. Be sure to talk to Charlotte or Chris or Bruce or Brad. Anybody will help you out. The utmost in professionalism, caring, respect. I tell you what, they've bent over backwards to make sure that the service for your loved one, whether in an emergency situation or, you know, a long anticipated passing, will be sure to check it out with Roller Funeral Homes. Across the state of Arkansas, there's 29 to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes right here on Highway 5 North in Mountain Home. They bring you the morning prayer each and every day. So now let's pause for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, in the winter of 1961, I remember seeing a fire truck respond to a fire in a home across the street from me. The sight in the darkness of the fire truck with its red flashing light on the dark house haunted me for years. To this day, the thought or seeing the aftermath of a house fire just kind of crawls all over me. So today, Lord, as we discuss fire safety with our own fire department, Lord, I pray these words of discussion will not just be just talk, but I pray people listen and will take every precaution to avoid fires in our homes. I pray, Lord, you protect our homes and our families, and that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now,
You've been practicing. That's 4 days in a row.
I think that one's a little sharp to me, but yeah, I'm starting to get picky
Do it
now.
again. It cleared out my sinuses a bit.
Starting to get picky about my trumpet.
Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. Best lunch, best breakfast in town, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday to 11 a.m.
For breakfast, we've got the 2 pancakes, 2 sausage, or bacon, and 2 eggs, all for $5.88. Can't beat it. And for lunch, we got the hamburger steak supremes. Have you had those? Take that half-pound hamburger patty and smother it with cheese, and it's got peppers, tomatoes,
You
and
can't beat
gravy,
that.
and it's good. It comes with 2 sides, a roll of cornbread for $6.88.
Wow.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. All right.
Try some of their homemade pies. They got a lot of homemade pies going on over there.
Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Monday through Friday, 7 to 2. Saturday morning till 11 a.m. Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. They bring the morning weather each and every day. It's cold outside.
I like that song.
Yeah. Who's your favorite singer on that song? I think I've got it by Joe Stafford.
Do you?
Yeah. She was real big and from like 1948 until about 1960.
I like, what's it, Bublé that does it? And have you seen his video?
No.
He's got these two young kids
that
are all dressed up and doing. I think that was a really cool video.
This morning we've got 20 degrees in Mountain Home and 29 in Harrison, 22 at Hardy, 19 at Mountain View, 17 at Yellville, 19 at Marshall. Calico Rock checks in at 20, while it's 22 in St. Louis and Poplar Bluff, so this cold air stretches from one end to the other. Branson checks in at 25, West Plains, Missouri showing 20 degrees, while it's 11 below zero in Watford City, North Dakota.
You got to call your son. You got a temperature? No, we don't have one.
It's 11 degrees below it. I was talking to him yesterday. I said, man, you all have had a great winter so far. He says, yeah, man, it's like 19 degrees up here. Now today it's minus 11 up there.
You hit negative, and it doesn't matter negative what, you're miserable.
It's cold. It's cold. Anyway, taking a look at the national radar, we've got a little bit in Colorado and Wyoming. Not much. I mean, the western part of the country from the Mississippi River west is not much going on. A little bit up in Minnesota along the Wisconsin border, but the eastern seaboard getting a lot of precipitation from Maine all the way down to Florida, includes Tennessee, parts of Georgia, the Carolinas into the Virginias, and Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and the I-95 corridor. Let's see, I-75 is affected here a little bit, and of course I-95, a major north-south route on the East Coast. Anyway, it looks like Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, parts of Tennessee, western part of Tennessee is all clear. We'll hit that Little Rock radar. As you can see, the state of Arkansas looks like it's in pretty good shape. We'll check those highways for you. 62, 412 east and west from Mountain Home in good shape. Highway 65, Little Rock to Branson. Highway 67 and 167 serves from Little Rock to Batesville and Poplar Bluff. Then let's see, we've got interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, and 555 in Arkansas, all clear at this time. Picking up a little ground clutter down here. I don't think it's much. If it's, I think the intensity's turned up real high on these radars. That's why you got that little bit south of I-40 towards Pine Bluff. But it looks like all the interstates are clear at this time. Checking the state of Missouri, we'll hit the St. Louis radar stop here. Now these guys, come on, turn your radars on, guys. There we go. Well, we'll pick it up out of Paducah, Kentucky here. From St. Louis, Interstate 70 coming in from Columbia to St. Louis and then east to Vandalia, Effingham, Illinois. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. You've got I-64, well, I keep saying from East St. Louis, Illinois, but actually junctions I-70 west of the city there. Comes into St. Louis, comes past Busch Stadium, goes out towards Mount Vernon, Illinois. It's in pretty good shape there as you see it head on towards Evansville, Indiana. You got Interstate 55 coming from Memphis to Sykeston, Cape Girardeau, on up to St. Louis. It's in pretty good shape. Highway 67 serving Poplar Bluff to St. Louis. Looks like it's in good shape. Southwest Missouri. I'm picking up a little bit in Oklahoma. Maybe picking up on this radar a little bit. Nope. Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, and I-44 towards Lebanon in good shape. And Interstate 70, Kansas City to Columbia. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. The forecast map looks like this. It looks like we have a winter weather advisory for most of Iowa, and we've got some in Iowa, Wisconsin, South Dakota. We do have a tornado warning.
Where at?
Well, it says southern Minnesota. I'm gonna look at this and see. No. Color coordination off. This is a blizzard warning here. There it is, blizzard warning. I'm gonna start saying that ain't right.
They're used to that.
Yeah. Blizzard warning in Minnesota. So you can see the light blue is, I believe that's a wind chill advisory. Well, they've got all kinds of colors on here to try to figure out which one is which here. Anyway, it's cold in the north. As you can see, northern half of Illinois up into Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, the Dakotas. You know, it's cold, cold, cold. So that's your forecast map right there. The 7-day forecast for today, a high of 43. Ooh, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I told you it's going to get up there.
There you go.
This time of year, that's getting up there. So, increasing
clouds today. It was, this morning when I took Pepper out at 1:30 130, 140. I mean, the stars were just like ice crystals in the sky. I mean, just very pretty. Then this morning he goes out at 5:30, which is our normal time to go out. And you've got the shadows of the moon. I mean, it was a real pretty morning, So high of 43 today, low tonight 15. Tomorrow, a high of 36 with increasing clouds. Friday night, low of 24. Then on Saturday, partly sunny with a high of 46. Then Sunday, look at this, a high of 51 degrees. Yay. Sunday night, low of 35. Monday, high of 51, mostly sunny, then a chance of rain. Okay.
I can live with that.
No problems there. Wow, we'll check the drought monitor in Arkansas, which will be updated later today, probably by the end of the show. And we're in pretty good shape right here as there's no drought conditions across the state. Most generally, we see at least a D0 and sometimes a D1. It got pretty severe in Missouri. State of Missouri also showing no drought situations across the state. And if we get a chance, we'll update that later, but I have a feeling it's going to be in pretty good shape. We'll check iDrive Arkansas real quick for road conditions here in the state. And let's see, what do we have? Probably a couple accidents. These are probably accident scenes here. And they're still working on the culvert on Highway 69 at Batesville. Overall, state of Arkansas in good shape highway-wise. Nothing that's causing any travel problems there. State of Missouri, I've updated this. I'm going to update it one more time.
They've done a good job of clearing some of that, though.
Where's that?
In Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
The whole top half was covered yesterday.
Oh, it was, yeah. The dark blue indicates partly covered, which is around Tarkio, Missouri, up in this part. The light blue is mostly clear, which will be around Lancaster, Kirksville, places like that, Macon. And so,
should pretty much clear up today if it's getting 40-something. So
yeah,
it's already mostly clear now. So.
All righty. So, morning weather is brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Best lunch, best breakfast in town, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11 a.m. Check them out. And so, community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 870-741-2883. We have the sports registrations going on February 2nd and 9th from 9 to noon at the LC Salmons Youth Center. I'm having to do this by memory. It should be swimming, tennis, baseball, football, softball. What am I missing? I think that covers
pretty much all
the City League,
all the sports coming up. So,
and then let me grab one more, and then we'll see what your wrestling team is doing here. We do have the French Club's fundraiser scheduled for Friday, February 22nd. So we got a month to plan for this. It's going to be from 4 to 7 at the Century 21 Lemac Real Estate Office. Come have a bowl of chili, dessert, bottle of water. This is for the French Club's trip to Quebec in 2020. So talk about planning ahead. Here we go.
For those parents that are baiting letting their child go, my child went last year and had a ball. Very professionally done, very safe environment. It was just a good time. So I encourage, if you get that opportunity, they will remember that for life.
What was the flight path? Were they Springfield to...
Yeah,
Springfield directly into Montreal.
I have no clue. I couldn't remember.
Huh?
No, they had a changeover somewhere.
Probably
I'm not
Chicago.
sure where.
Oh.
Yeah.
What else you got for community calendar?
Well, the Mountain Home Youth Wrestling team, they are off this weekend.
You're kidding.
They actually got one weekend off because they're getting prepped. They got the next weekend will be the Missouri Nationals. So that'll be a tough tournament for them. But the Mountain Home High School Bomber Wrestling team, they are headed to Greenbrier for the dual state tournament. So they will actually be leaving out Friday. I think the bus pulling out at like 10:45, and we'll start wrestling at 3 o'clock Friday afternoon and then all through Saturday. So if you know any of them, wish them good luck, and it's going to be a toughie.
All right. Coming up, I'm going to plug this throughout the next week. Coming up on January 31st, we'll be broadcasting the long-awaited movie we've been working on called Addictions, Bullying, and Suicide. Very grateful to Reynolds Media and Scooter for all the help they've been over the last 11 months while we put this together. My son and I worked on this project. It's been a community effort. It'll be broadcast in the place of Down on the Corner on the 31st of January, starting exactly at 7 a.m. Again, rebroadcast at 5. Talks about the subjects of addictions, bullying, and suicide, which a year ago we had some tragedies right here in the 3-county area, Marion, Baxter, and Fulton counties. And it's to bring awareness not only to younger people, but to folks my age. We have a lot of grandparents raising grandkids.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of sheds some light on the tragedies that we've had over the past year, and brings to light what we need to do. And so that's going to be broadcast on January 31st at 7 a.m. in the place of Down on the Corner, being XL7 television special presentation. With that, we need to take a break. Gary's here from Mountain Home Fire Department. We're going to be talking some fire safety, so stick around. We're going to be right back.
The best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need dirt. $7:21, Gary Pyszka's here. Captain Gary Pyszka's here from Mountain Home Fire Department, and this is the time of the year where we've got to be careful.
That's right.
All year round, but I mean, you've got your wood-burning stoves, wood furnace, fireplaces.
Space heaters.
The
big one, yeah. Well, we were fortunate. We made it through the Christmas holiday with no fires from candles, cooking, or Christmas trees. So
good.
We're doing good this year already. So
that's good.
Yeah.
You know, in the morning prayer, and then we went to break. I told Gary, I said, back in 1961, what happened was, you know, the home across the street, for some reason, as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old kid, that spooked me. You know, and just the vision of the aftermath of a burnout. It's
devastating.
It's spooky.
It is. It sure is. Nothing's more traumatic to a family to lose everything. I mean, you know, lives can't be replaced, but material things can. But the memories is what we try. Is important to us to try to save too, along with life.
You know, I've been on the Facebook page of Mountain Home Fire Department, and I've seen the videos, I've seen the pictures, and our first instinct, and Scooter was talking about when he was at down in Germantown, my first instinct, fire, run, you guys are different. You go into the fire.
Yes.
Where my instinct is get away, get away, get away.
Right,
so
right.
Talk a little bit about your training, both you, Scooter, where Germantown, Tennessee, you said?
Yeah. The career of the fire department is never-ending training. Well, they're required to train at least 2 hours a day on every shift. Of course, we start out as a volunteer on the Mountain Home Fire Department. We're a combination department. Start out as a volunteer, and then you take actual 3 classes to be a certified firefighter in Arkansas. You take wildlands, which forestry teaches for us, intro to fire service, and personal protective equipment. It teaches you how to put your gear on, how to use your gear, how to get it on and off, basically with your eyes closed or in the dark, stuff like that. And then from there you can go to Camden, Arkansas, which is where the Arkansas Fire Academy is. It's attached to SAU Tech down there.
Really?
And it's I believe it's an 8-week course, and then another 5 weeks if you want to be an EMT. So there's a lot of training just to become the first position firefighter in a department. And then from there you've got rope rescue, extrication, basic structure fire, advanced structure fire training, driver operator, pump operator. You've got your officers classes. You've got continuing education for your EMT. We do CPR, AED every year. There's just a multitude of things that they have to keep up with all the time.
Now, I'm going to throw you the best curveball you've ever been pitched. How do you train for my stupidity?
Fire prevention is what we do.
Because people don't understand, I need an extension
No,
cord.
everybody understands you're stupid.
Thank you. Turn your mic off now. Thank you.
No, you're acting like nobody understands this, but
I meant our stupidity. I was, anyway. Right. You go to a box store. Oh, well, here's a nice little multi-port outlet where you plug in the wall.
Yep.
Oh, it's 18 gauge. People don't realize that's very, very light wire.
Yeah, it's very thin. It's
if it
about
says
the size
10
of a lamp
or
cord.
8 gauge, that might be a little bit safer, but
exactly.
Overall the space heaters I don't even mess with.
Right. They're good. They are safe as long as they're used per the manufacturer's recommendations. You keep all your combustible material at least 3 feet away from them. The new ones I know have what's called tip over protection and heat protection. If they fall over or they get too hot with something on them, they'll automatically shut off. You talked about the extension cords and the power strips. They're not designed to be plugged into those. Just plug them directly into the wall.
Most of those little space heaters are what, 1,200 to 1,500 watts?
There's most of them are 2 settings. They're either 750 or 1,500 watts. Now, if you plugged it into just a standard little brown lamp cord extension cord, just sit there and hold your hand on that cord.
It's going to heat
and
up.
It's going to heat up immediately. It's not designed to draw that much juice.
So at 1,500 watts, you're probably pulling a solid 2 to 3 amps?
You're pulling a lot. So, yeah, they're not, like I said, they're not designed. Just look at the size of the cord that's on them. They're designed for that amount.
Okay,
there.
How does Underwriter's Laboratory actually hang a UL symbol on some of these cords when they're that light? I don't think you should be able to get an extension cord 20 gauge or higher. That's getting very, very light. That's just almost heavy speaker wire.
UL rates them for what they're listed for what, light duty.
Which is a light bulb.
Is a light bulb, basically.
60 watts.
Yes. Yep.
That's light duty.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they just need to be plugged directly into the wall and just keep everything away from them. Now, if you have a fuel-fired space heater or something like that, just make sure you're using the correct fuel in it. Right. Don't try to mix or try to make it go farther. Just make sure you use the correct fuel in it.
So if you got a K1 kerosene, stay with K1 kerosene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No white gas, lantern gas. No.
Right. Yep. I don't know of any other than the propane ones. I think they're more the torpedo style for shops and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those, the old kerosene fired. Oh man, I had like a 35,000 BTU, had a spark plug and everything, had magneto-manted.
An hour later, you got a headache from the fumes.
Oh man, yeah. Oh,
they have nowadays those kerosene heaters, and a lot of them say they are safe indoors. Mm-hmm. And it used to be not the case. They didn't recommend with the fumes that it put out, but
right, it's probably something to do with the way the kerosene's refined better now, I guess, and just less fumes.
Well, 10 years ago,
burning.
I've still got the same heater from 10 years ago that we used during the ice storm when the power was out. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I went to the front windows. We got dual front windows, and I had each window open about 1 inch to 2 inches. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was cold, but still there was enough flow between the 2 windows.
Keep your ventilation.
It kept the house pretty warm, and we had a little bit of odor from the exhaust, but we didn't have any CO2, or not CO2, carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide. Yeah.
So, and there's another situation: smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors.
Yes, one of the most important things you can have is a smoke detector in your house. You can go on the internet and you can look at, I think they call it new versus legacy room fire, and it shows. They'll do a side-by-side comparison. They'll take a room, Underwriter's Laboratory has done this too. They'll take a room with furniture from 70s, 80s, that's organic, cotton, wool, solid wood, and they'll put it next to a room with furnishings from today, which are 99.9% synthetic. It's all petroleum products, and they'll light the couch on fire with a pillow. And what do you think the difference would be in minutes from the old versus the new to fully involve that room?
Scooter, what would you?
I don't know.
15 minutes.
Pretty close. The old room fire, to get a fully involved room, is just over 29 minutes. Now you get 29 minutes to get out of there before it's unlivable. It's unsafe.
On the old stuff.
On the old stuff. Today, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Now, if you're sleeping and that fire gets rolling before you even wake up,
we've gone from. We've made it worse.
Yes.
Yeah, synthetics.
Yeah. Synthetics are in the fire service are very bad. So, smoke detectors are very, very important. They give you that, even if it's seconds, notice to get out and It saves a lot of lives.
So that exhaust would be the afterburn. The fumes off the afterburn would be toxic.
Very, very toxic. Yes. Yeah, all your foams and synthetics just is very, very bad for you. So.
Ooh, I had no idea on that one. Man,
Yep.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Wow,
And-
we need to take a break. 7:30 already. More with Gary from Mountain Home Fire Department right after this. Man, I had no idea. When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
7:32, visiting with Captain Gary Pyszka of Mountain Fire Department. The reason I got Mountain Home here is it's shorter drive at 6:30 in the morning than calling somebody else. But folks all across the region that are watching from Harrison to Salem and Mountain View, Arkansas, you know, we need to wise up here. You know, I've seen the videos where people raking leaves and burning leaves.
Yes.
Gary, in 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
They burn better.
Oh yeah, in the neighbor's yard.
But yeah, just when we were fortunate this year. We've had a very wet fall, so we haven't had a lot of issues with burning this year. But when you do burn, we do have an ordinance in Mountain Home city limits. You know, it's got to be 5 miles an hour or less wind. Can't burn in the city ditches or easements. 25 feet from a structure. Have a means of extinguishment on hand when you start. Got to be out by dark.
Oh yeah.
But in the county, there is really no regulations unless there's a countywide burn ban on. But it's a little common sense. If the winds usually are calmer during the morning than they are in the afternoons, burn early and make sure it's completely out. And go back out and check on it before you go to bed and make sure it is completely out. So
Stir the ashes?
Exactly. Stir it up and wet it down. And if you're just burning like a brush pile or a small area, wet around it before you even start. That way it'll keep it from spreading in case the wind does pick up on you.
And then people that have hobbies like me, we were talking during the break, antique radios. I have a soldering gun, a soldering iron. Now, the soldering iron does not have a switch.
Right. It's plug in and it gets hot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, I'll have it like in the vise to where it can take the wire and whatever I'm soldering, hold it together and stuff like that. But still, that's a fire hazard if it were to fall into something.
It could overheat and catch fire. Just common sense around the house. If you're, with your space heaters and that, they recommend if you leave the room, turn them off. If you go to bed, leave the house, anything, turn them off. Don't leave them going. They're not a good idea to use to heat your whole house. They're a space heater. That's they're a supplement. So. Getting into furnaces and fireplaces and stuff like that. Now that it's really cold outside, get your furnaces checked by a certified technician. Make sure your
what's the
lost my train of thought.
What they call it, the
chimneys. Make sure your chimneys are clean and clear.
Heat exchanger.
Heat exchanger, yeah. Make sure, and of course, have your CO detectors, in your house too. If you got, propane or fuel-fired furnaces, just to keep you safe.
What if we overlooked? the wood burning stove. I mean,
if you're going to burn inside, I know some of the outside furnaces are designed to can burn green wood.
Are you kidding? Really?
Yeah, it burns longer and slower.
Doesn't that kind of mess up the chimney and the flue?
It can, yeah. Fireplaces inside, wood burning appliances use seasoned, clean, dry hardwood. It's the safest way to burn.
Now, the earlier segment you talked about Christmas trees, and years ago, I go back to the good old St. Clair County, Illinois days around Fairview Heights, Illinois, my hometown. Yay, Dad worked at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft. In those days, artificial trees weren't as prevalent as they are nowadays. Mm-hmm. But U.S. Navy had issued not a fireproof, but a fire retardant for new trees. It was, you take 8 ounces of borax to 4 ounces of boric acid. You mix that in a pan of hot water, and once it's dissolved, you add a gallon of water and you spray the tree. And the boric acid breaks down the soap enzyme. It's basically like a clear seal on the little branches of the tree.
Yep.
And it just keeps the oxygen away is what it does.
Yes.
It's kind of like turpentine to barn paint or thinner to car paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Breaks that enzyme down. And it works. I've used it when I use the old C7 110-volt light bulbs. Sometimes they'd break and pop, they'd spark.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember back in Illinois, we went by a house. Oh, their Christmas tree caught fire. There's a big old burned hole in the roof where it went through the ceiling, all the way through the attic, all the way through the shingles.
Yep.
Some of those houses were built in the late 40s, early 50s, and it's tragic, Harry. It's tragic.
It is. Another thing we like to talk about, when you do call us for anything, whether it be medical emergencies, fires, have your numbers on your house, or if you have a long driveway, make sure you have it on your mailbox somewhere that we can identify where you're at. Because at 1:40 in the morning and 19 degrees outside, we're driving down your county road, and you have a long driveway, your house isn't visible from the street, it's going to make our response time a little longer.
What comes to mind is a single frame comic one time. I don't even know what the name of the comic was, but it shows this guy panicky, and you can see the flames in the background. He's on the phone with the fire department. He says, "What do you mean how I get there? Don't you have those big red trucks anymore?"
Yes, yeah.
In other words, he's not thinking that we don't have the crystal ball saying, "Oh, here they are over on this street right here."
Right.
Now, I was told years ago, back when we were doing radio, we had some folks come in. I think it was Buford. I've got the green. It looks like an interstate highway sign.
Yes,
it's green with white print, reflective.
Yes.
And it's at the edge of my driveway. But now, if it's blue with white print, it means there's a medical issue in the home, is what I was told.
Okay.
So if any of the authorities are responding with sheriff's department, police department, fire department, or state police, we got white on blue, there could be a medical situation in that home.
Right. Okay.
Where what looks like the interstate sign, white on green, means, this is normal.
Yeah. Yep. I know Buford, I don't know if they still do, but they do make those for residents. So you can, if you live in their district, give them a call and they can sure help you out. Even in town, in your neighborhood, if you don't have your numbers on your house, we can eventually figure out where you're at. Like I said, as our response time is lengthened, and if you're having a heart attack, those seconds count.
Yeah.
If you need us, we want to be there as quickly as possible. So make sure we can find you. Have them on your house, or keep your shrubs away from your house. Keep them trimmed out so we can actually see the sign if there is one on your house. Which leads us into another interesting idea is housekeeping, and I'm not talking about dusting, vacuuming. We start with housekeeping on the outside of the house. We talked about brush fires and grass fires and leaf fires. Keep all that shrubbery and all those built-up leaves away from your house. So if your neighbor does decide to burn and it burns across the property line into your property, that you have a less chance of your house catching on fire. So just keep the outside of the house clean, and inside of the house, just consider this: if you're sleeping at 2 o'clock in the morning and you have a fire in your house and it knocks your power out before you can get out, of course your smoke detector is going to be going off, and you can't see to get out. If you have a lot of clutter or a lot of stuff built up in your house, it's going to hinder you from getting out, and it possibly could could cost you your life. So,
And see, where I live in my house, and I know the way in and out, and could probably do it, quote, in my sleep.
Right.
You guys can't, because you come in with air tanks and self-contained breathing and all this stuff, and and the PPEs. You don't know the layout of my house.
Right, and it's not just for you per se to get out in the fire. It's also the fire load is going to make that fire that much bigger, that much hotter, that much quicker, and it's going to hamper us getting in to get you if you're still in there. So,
So how much, let's say we have a single level kitchen structure fire, how much damage do we cause by being panicky and not being prepared? So in other words, let's say I'm frying bacon. Okay.
Don't throw water on it, please.
Don't throw water on it. What kind? Can I use a halonite, or do you? Something. For some reason, my bacon catches fire in the skillet. What do I do?
Okay, if it's a small enough fire and you feel comfortable doing it, you can take a lid and just simply, slide it over and cover it. Don't try to come down on top of it. Okay. Just slide it over, and turn. If you can do it safely, turn off the stove. If not, you can just use a multi-purpose ABC fire extinguisher, multi-purpose chemical. You can get the wet agent chemicals extinguishers now, and they also have, I think recently UL has listed the smaller fire suppression systems that are actually built into your vent hoods.
Oh, really?
It's just a little bottle that sits up in your cupboard and it's got 1 or 2 or 3 spray heads that come down, and it works just like one in a restaurant.
Wow,
they're very
that's
neat.
cool.
You actually look them up on the internet too. They're very effective. And nowadays it's a wet chemical. It's not the dry powder of 10, 15 years ago. So the mess isn't what it was back then either. So.
Really? Wow,
Yep.
I didn't know that. Wow. Where do you get those? Just go online?
Get online, or I'm sure some of the companies around here can, some of the fire extinguisher companies can probably find them and order them and maybe even install them for you.
Wow.
I haven't seen any yet per se in residential houses around here, but they're coming. I mean, they're very efficient.
So what about, you see things on TV and even ads on radio and stuff about security systems. Now, within a security system, you can get built-in smoke and fire detectors.
Yes.
There's detectors, I know that from years past, it detects increase in heat. So in other words, if I had a heat detector in my attic and it's 20 degrees outside, and within the next 30 minutes it goes to 95, 96 to 100, that's okay, we've got a problem.
It reads a rapid rise in temperature. Yeah. Yes.
Those good ideas?
They're good. Yeah. There's several security and monitoring companies in town. They're all good. Just look them up and give them a call. Like I said, anything that can notify you quicker of a problem and give you more time to get out is worth it. It really is.
Interesting. Wow. Before we go to break, what have I overlooked? We've talked about extension cords and the multi strip outlets. Those, I think Springfield TV's even running some ads about plug this in and that in.
Right.
Those, what are they intended for?
They are intended, say, right here at your desk here. If you had an outlet and you had a couple extra things to plug in,
they're safe.
They're safe, yeah. But they're not designed to actually plug an extension cord into it and run across the living room to plug something else in. They're not designed for that. You're not supposed to plug them into each other or in the end of an extension cord or an extension cord into them.
So we've got a little iPhone charger right here.
Yep,
I think the switch is turned off. That's really what that was intended for.
Yes.
Maybe a little headphone distribution amp in future days if needed, but other than that, So, anyway, 7:44, and we're going to be discussing this after the break too. So stick around more with the fire department right after this.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby back, baby back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
746, visiting with Gary Pyszka, who's captain on the Mountain Home Fire Department and fire marshal, and talking fire safety. It's the dead of winter. You know, we've got wood-burning stoves. Any potbelly stoves out there anymore?
Yeah, they still sell them.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I have one. Not in my house, but I have one.
A potbelly stove?
Yeah,
out in the garage?
I got one of those big Montana Chemist tents, and that's what I keep in there. If I put up my tent, I put up my little hot pot stove in there.
Well, I remember my great-grandfather down in Neelyville, Missouri, back in the early 60s. Heated his home, had a potbelly stove there.
We had a big one down our basement. It was brick lined. That's what we
Really?
heated our house with. Yeah, had a little hole in the floor with a floor grate. He could go up in the first floor and warm it up. So we had brick and non-combustibles around us. So
There you go. So what else do we need to discuss? What have I overlooked, Gary?
We did touch on smoke detectors a little bit. We do have a program here in Mountain Home. If you can't afford a smoke detector and you don't have it in your house, just give us a call, 425-2611, and you're in our district, and we can set you up with free smoke detectors. We keep about 150 in stock. We want everybody to have one. We want everybody to be safe.
Okay, so if I'm out and about, and I'm at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever it may be, and I heard Gary on TV, and I need to pick up a smoke detector. What do I look for? Do you want the 99-cent one? Or you want the $49.99 one? What, you know what I mean? They're all
The $49.99 one was probably going to be a hardwired with battery backup with the CO detector also built into it.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there's so many different versions. There's so many different types of detectors nowadays. The $4.99 one is going to work for you too. So,
now, are they all, what do they call it, ion? What do they call them?
Oh, the ion detection.
Ion detection. It picks up the fragments of the smoke.
Yes, there's some. I think that's what they're going to nowadays. They're a lot more sensitive than they used to be, so they may have a lot more false activations due to dust. Just a bug crawling across the eye of the sensor could possibly set it off. So, I mean, they're very, very sensitive nowadays.
How many different brands? I think there's one called Kiddy, K-I-D-D-E,
Kidda. Sentry, First Alert.
First Alert, I've seen those.
Yeah, there's many.
Yeah.
Many kinds.
Do you have one brand over the other preference?
Nope. No, they're all good.
So as long as they get the Underwriters Laboratory tag,
yes, as long as they're
tested.
UL listed in the United States, they've been tested and good to go.
Let's talk a little bit about storing fuel: kerosene, gasoline, motor oils.
Yep, always.
Whether it's in the garage or in the barn or in wherever.
Right. Just keep it stored away from combustibles or ignition sources. Don't store it in your house. The fumes can accumulate, and if you have like a gas furnace, and that spark igniter kicks in, it could cause those fumes to ignite in your house. If you do storm in your garage and you can smell the vapors, I would just set them outside.
So you got a push lawnmower, a lawn tractor, a weed eater. You've got the weed eater gas, which is probably an oil fuel mix on some of them. Then you got the gasoline for the other engines.
Store them in approved containers too. Don't just store them in a 5-gallon bucket or a glass container. Just store them in the safety cans are the best to use right now.
Oh, and now I want to register a complaint. These goofy nozzles on the end of these gas cans anymore. Have you seen those?
Yes, I have.
I make a bigger mess with the safety devices. I find just take a chainsaw, take the hacksaw and cut that end off and cap it off, and
Yep.
But I've got spring loaded. You have to take the cap off, and then you get the 5 gallons up there. You have to hold it against the gas
and push it a little bit so it opens up.
Yeah, and then it vents, and then when it goes everywhere.
Safety regulations.
I make a bigger mess with that.
They got a new one now that comes out, and it's almost like a T, and you put the nozzle and you just push the button on the top, and it starts pouring out. You release the button, it stops. That one's gotten a lot.
What's wrong with the good old-fashioned one where I took the top off and put the gasoline in there? It had the flex hose where you put in and you tilt it up just enough.
Those days are over.
Apparently.
And why they don't put the little vent tab on the back of them? That really irks me, because you get, starts, bubbling and all that stuff. Where
I had a good old regular metal gas can. You unscrew the top, and you had the spout on there. You bent it over, flipped the little tab, poured it in, put it all back together. You were done,
But it lasted forever.
It lasted forever.
There's the problem.
Economics. Follow the honey trail.
But just when you're fueling your equipment, your yard equipment, all that, just make sure you do it outside in a well-vented area. That way, if something was to happen, we'll just come and put out the yard tractor. We won't have to come and put out your house.
Yeah, I'd rather the tractor burn than the house. Like I say, once I saw that in 1960, that spooked me. I mean, it really did. So
I remember my first fire that my uncle was a fireman back in Illinois also.
Really?
Back in, he was doing it probably late 60s. Of course, I wasn't around until the 70s, but I was 7 or 8 years old, and of course I was visiting him at his house, and his pager goes off. It's like, can I come with you? He said, yeah, come on. At that time, they had one engineer. He drove the truck to the scene, and the volunteers met there.
Yeah.
Well, it was a bowling alley. All the lacquer and wood and plastic, bowling pins, and it was a good fire. It was going, black, thick, billowing smoke. You can see for miles and miles and miles. And, I'm a little kid, 8 years old, standing out there, just excited watching this. And well, here comes an old, the old Nerf soccer balls come rolling out of the fire right to me. It's like, I don't know, to this day, I don't know if he ever threw it out for me or if somebody else just had thrown it out of the fire. It was kind of neat.
I remember I was over at my grandparents' house. This is back in the Illinois days, and my grandmother was cooking supper, and it was still daylight. It was 5:30 in the afternoon, and said, "You boys want to go see a fire?" I said, "What?" I said, "You boys want to go see a fire?" I said, "What do you mean go see a fire?" I said, "There's a store in Collinsville called United. It was kind of like what Walmart is these days.
Mm-hmm.
You had different ones. Will it still be burning after supper?" "Oh yeah." And sure enough, 2 hours later, we went and drove by, and you could see the glow of the tire department. And this was one of those metal, the metal skinned out. It's
all melted in, and
I remember that one.
Yeah, the commercial buildings are very hard to put out.
Something I want to ask you. How many buildings? We've got our glass door right here. But you see the doubles.
Mm-hmm.
How many times a day do I get where the right-hand side is locked?
A lot. They're required to be open if you're open for business.
I think my right arm is shorter than the left arm. And go at the left side because the right side is always locked.
Right. The doors are the occupancy of your building is based on the size of your doors, how many you can get out in a certain amount of time. So yeah, they need to, both of those double doors need to be unlocked and serviced.
I thought there's an ordinance or regulation for that because the doors on a commercial building need to swing out.
Right.
Instead of in. So you can just
some of the older style ones are still swinging in, but
how hard is it to reverse that process?
It all depends on the occupancy of the building too.
Yeah,
so,
true.
But safer to swing out.
Yep. Okay, fire safety, folks. Fireplaces, check the chimney. Wood burning stoves, check the flue.
Yep. Burn seasoned wood.
Burn seasoned wood. Yep. And the extension cords. Once again, on those power strips, if you're at one of the box stores and you see a power strip and it says 18 gauge, that's not a heavy gauge.
No, it's not a heavy gauge.
The smaller the number, the smaller the wire.
Right. The smaller the number, the larger the wire, the more amperage it can hold.
So if you found an 8 gauge, yeah, you're going to pay about $50 for an 8 gauge, but at least it's going to carry the amperage, you know.
Right.
So, anyway, Scooter, got any thoughts on this?
No.
I wish you
Just
did.
enjoying the conversation. You're about out. What do you mean?
Did you ever think about volunteering again for the fire department?
He sure does. He just did one volunteer program today.
In your spare time.
All voluntary. Here's a pin signing one.
I had thought about it. I looked at it and thought about it when we first moved here years ago, and then I just never really did it. I enjoyed it. I really did. It was had a great time once you got out of training, but had a real good time.
Yeah, we usually hire volunteers in the fall. We usually do it once a year.
Do you? We haven't talked about MVAs. You respond to motor vehicle accidents.
Yes, we do. A lot.
Boy.
As soon as it starts raining, probably within the first 10 minutes of a rainstorm, we'll get at least one wreck.
You're kidding.
People don't change their driving styles with the weather. They just drive the same as it was clear, dry pavement. So if you're on the road, just pay attention when you're on the road. Pay attention to conditions.
The first initial rain, especially in the warmer part of spring, it brings that little bit of that oil residue, and you get
kind of cleans
it
up.
Can be not like black ice, but it can be
slippery.
Similar.
It can be very slippery. Yeah, just slow down, pay attention. Put the phone down and just drive.
Yeah.
No distractions.
No texting, driving. All right. Wow, a lot of information, Gary.
Yep.
Are you guys in need of volunteers? Are you guys always looking, or you guys got plenty that step up naturally?
We're down a few right now. Like I said, we put on once a year, so if you want to volunteer or even just want to know about it, what it entails to be a volunteer, what kind of training, what we expect of you, just come down and see us. We'll talk to you about it, and if it's for you, great. We'll try to put you on. If it's not, then thanks for coming to see us. We sure appreciate it.
Now, how many times do you get called out to assist? I would guess you'd probably assist Gassville, Cotter, maybe Clark Ridge, maybe Buford.
We have automatic aid agreements with I think Clark Ridge and Buford.
Oh, and Buford.
And if somebody calls, we're going to go. Even if we're not have the automatic agreements with them, if Gassville calls or Northeast calls or anybody calls, we'll go assist. Yes. Yep.
Takes a special calling.
We're all here for the same reason. Well, doesn't matter what district you're in, we're here. So.
Do you see an increase in situations during tourist season, Memorial Day, Labor Day?
A little bit more. A few more medicals, sometimes some more wrecks. Yes.
Yeah.
You just have more vehicles on the road at that time, so statistically, it's going to happen.
Wow. Anyway, you see these pictures, and once again, it still haunts me to this day to see a house fire. Because I've got a lot of nice things, antique radios and stuff, and sure don't want to lose them due to carelessness by plugging in a space heater and one of these 97-cent brown extension cords or.
I think last time I was here, we talked about the public safety tax. That was we were trying to get passed. We thank you to the citizens. We passed that with 81%.
Awesome,
amazing, and
it's helping.
Yes, we have ordered a new frontline engine. It should be here, I believe, in March.
We need to have you back.
Yeah,
we need to go get some pictures of that.
Yes, come on back.
Tell you what, we're very grateful to the Mountain Home Fire Department and all the volunteer departments around, whether it's Buford, Cotter, Gassville, Norfolk, Northeast. Is Rick Williamson still at Northeast?
Yes.
Yeah, Rick's out there.
Rick's out there. Henry's still there.
Yeah, wow.
40 plus years Henry's been there.
Wow.
So
we appreciate what these men and women do at the fire department. Pineville, down at Pineville. Thank you. Great service, and wow, we've got a top-notch fire departments all through North Arkansas here. Very grateful for your service. Scooter, what do you think?
I think we're about out of time.
I think so. So I'm going to say goodbye. See you tomorrow.